So we already know first overall, I'm assuming, will be Trevor Lawrence, QB from Clemson, going to the Jaguars. Almost a unanimous number 1 overall pick. He's got that combination of height, arm strength, accuracy, poise, surprisingly mobile. He's 6'6", about 220, and he throws a strike. Anything you guys want to add on Trevor Lawrence? Anybody disagree? Trevor Lawrence overall number 1.
The kid's exciting. I'm can't wait to see him play.
Yeah,
love it. Perfect.
Yeah, they got 2 first-round picks. They'll be 33rd pick overall. Also, that's a good opportunity for Urban Meyer in his first year.
25th, 33rd, and 45th picks for the Jags. And you got to think that a lot of those kids are going to be players that Urban Meyer actually scouted, that he recruited. I think that's one of the spots where he might actually have a leg up on some of the competition, is that he's been watching these kids since high school. I think he's pretty familiar with them. So we'll see. I think he's got a good chance to make something in Jacksonville. Next up, seems like almost unanimous, will be Zach Wilson, QB from BYU, going to the Jets. There was some talk initially about Zach Wilson maybe even going first, but it looks like those rumors have come to a halt. And initially, the Jets were looking at maybe taking Justin Fields, but all signals are pointing to Wilson. Anybody disagree? Anything you guys want to add?
Yeah, I would just say I think he's, it looks everywhere I've read that they love Zach Wilson. I'm just afraid that we'll be sitting here a couple of years from now and it'll be kind of the same deal. It'll be Sam Darnold 2.0. I think that team is just they have a little bit too many holes in different places. First year head coach who's been, completely defensive minded for, over a decade. It's definitely going to bring kind of intensity and a lot of grit to that defense, similar to like the 49ers. But when you look at, that's a 32nd ranked offense in 2020. I don't really see a huge change with a rookie QB and a first year head coach that's not really offensively minded. Do you guys think that bringing Corey Davis in and Keelan Cole, Tevin Coleman, are those players that you guys feel are going to make a huge difference to add on with like Jamison Crowder, and what is it, like Braxton Berrios and whoever else they had there?
I think it's a step in the right direction, but I don't think it's going to be enough. The three of us were talking a little bit before the show, and like you were saying, Dennis, the rookie QB's best friend is going to be a running back, and that running game has been awful for pretty much as long as I can remember. I don't think that Zach Wilson's going to take the world by storm, but I mean, in the intermediate throws, he's pretty accurate. He's got that great deep ball that everyone talks about. He can throw off platform, flick it 60 yards. He doesn't need to set his feet. I think he'll do well. It's definitely not a bad number 2 overall pick. Could be worse, but I think that the rest of the offense is going to be lagging a little bit. They're going to need a little bit more.
Yeah, hopefully he is a little bit of a spark to the Jets. But I agree. He's, it's too big of a hill for them at this point. I'm actually more excited to see what else they're gonna do in this draft. Because like you said, those guys, Tevin Coleman, that's all these the guys, receivers you mentioned, I don't even know who they are, to be honest, most of them. So it's big holes. But,
so they have
his swag.
Yeah,
I like his swag, and I hope he has a little bit of a spark. And and looking at his stats, he's consistently gotten better, throughout his college career.
If you're playing GM for the Jets and you get Wilson, and you're at pick number 23, and you could fill one of these holes that I'm talking about, or you get a call from like the Browns or something, and they say, we'll give you OBJ to add some explosive, weapons on offense to help Zach Wilson for that 23rd pick. Are you pulling the trigger?
23rd
Bring OBJ
pick,
OBJ back to New York.
Nah. Him coming off the injury, it's too much of a risk. I think you could find, there's solid receivers in this draft. If you want to go that way, but I think, we were talking earlier, they got bigger holes to fill. With that 23rd pick, I think they could snag, 2 great first round picks. I don't like the OBJ. Nah.
But you drafted him in fantasy.
There are.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I agree. There are other places that they need to focus their attention on, I think, than getting OBJ, who was injured last year, who wasn't that great even before his injury. He had that one monster game that kind of elevated his stats a little bit. But, you looked at Rashad Higgins after he went down, and he looked just as good. We were talking about it right before the show, and one of the hiccups or one of the reasons that Cleveland is trying to shop OBJ is because they actually looked better without him in the lineup. So I don't think it'll happen, at least not to the Jets. But it does look like Wilson's going number 2 to the Jets. From what I had seen, Adam Schefter says it's a pretty much done deal. The Niners had told the press that they didn't even kick the tires on trading with the Jets because the Jets had kind of made it known that they were getting Wilson. So that seems like a done deal.